Hello everyone, this is Daryl Guberman, CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, a quality consulting firm here in Connecticut. It's about time that this comes out. This goes to all the manufacturers in the rest of the world. We already did the United States. You are going to be informed now. Boeing screwed you all for 22 years. Did you have a ball? Everyone who's AS9100 that supply materials to Boeing, and I know there's worldwide suppliers as well, who are AS9100 under the ANSI-ANAB logo or their international equivalents. ANSI-ANAB, the American National Standards Institute, the American National Accrediting Board, founded the International Accreditation Forum incorporated in Delaware. Their sister organization, ILAC, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation, is in Australia. They have another acronym, GLOBALAC, that basically is a combination, I think, of the IAF and ILAC, whatever. Global Accreditation Cooperation, that was newly found, I guess, this year or last. Both IAF and ILAC are international. They have both national and international accreditation bodies that are equivalent in accreditation to ANSI-ANAB, and ANSI-ANAB are their underwriters. So if you have a certificate from UKAS and something goes wrong, ANSI and ANAB are basically liable for that failure, either systematic or product. We don't make that up. We have all corroborating information. We've been in business for over 14 years, consulting and also certification of companies. We were asked to join either ANSI-ANAB or IAF in 2016, but we refused because the IAF was handed off to a communist Chinese national. He was also the chief executive of the China National Accreditation Services that in Beijing, China, that certified the suspect, or not suspect, the lab that released, you know what? I don't have to get into detail. And we have a confession from the vice president of laboratory accreditation who said from one laboratory to another, they lack protocol. This poem is based on Dr. Seuss. It's a Seussical poem, but for quality. So when I stood up, I made a very poignant issue because Boeing itself was not certified to AS9100 for over 22 years, and we have the proof. Miss Elizabeth Lund, VP of Quality for Boeing, after 30 plus years, I guess she just got promoted a couple years ago. She said, "We're willing and prepared to obtain AS9100, but listen to this, for over 2 decades of non-compliance, willingness is not redemption, it's admission of failure." And you can't make that up. So we're going to continue. It all started on 9/11, just to show you. This came, they had 9/11, then Boeing said they were going to be laying off between 20 and 30,000 employees. Those 2 documents I showed were put out in April and July of 2002. They basically said, send in your cert, send in your parts, and if need be or need arises, we'll come out to visit your facility. And this is getting rid of redundant inspection. So we go ahead. Boeing screwed you all for 22 years. Did you have a ball? This goes to all the manufacturers throughout the world. The United States, I've already done one personally. I'm doing one for you as well, ladies and gentlemen. To AS9100 suppliers around the world from Daryl Guberman. In the land full of rivets and torque and gun glue, lived thousands of shops, maybe one's just like you. You followed the rules, kept your documents straight, and waited for Boeing to open the gate. You paid all the fees and you danced every dance. You welcomed the audits, you gave them a chance. You thought this is fair, I've earned my way in. With AS9100 cert hanging, I'm already win. But Boeing, dear Boeing, had tricks up their sleeve, a secret so rotten you won't just believe. For 22 years while you all got checked, they stayed non-certified. You were misled and wrecked. Back in 2002, they issued a call. Suppliers get certified, AS91, one and all. But behind the bold order, behind the grand name, Boeing never got certified. They just played the game. They said we align, we comply, yes indeed. But that was a mask to distract and mislead. With ANSI and ANAB blessing and an old seal, they faked it and framed it as if it were real. Let's peek at the source of this shaky parade from ANSI-ANAB's own site, where the rules are displayed. Is your cert accredited? The answer is probably. Now, what kind of nonsense is that industry hobby? Would you board a plane if the captain declared, "We probably fueled it, maybe prepared"? And off to the side is the international accreditation form with a chair from the CCP, not a myth, not a jest, from 2015 to 2021. China's red flag waved over everyone. They certified Wuhan. They blessed labs of doom. While you got inspected for dust on your broom, while your shop was measured for audits and specs, they passed out approvals with no real checks. Even forensic labs, there's no rule they'd CSI. A commerce rep said, under oath, not a lie. There's no shared standard, she said with a grin, just suggestions and guesses. No one has to win. This is part of the Department of Commerce. It has nothing really to do with you, but you just have to think about this and think about what's happening to the American people, the American business people, men and women. And what about Constep, so polished and proud? They wear the Department of Commerce shroud. A NIST-MEP Manufacturing Extension Partnership National Institute of Standards and Technology arm in all 50 states, each one pulling funds from your federal plates. They say we help business, but there's the real math. 64.85% goes down the bath. That's payroll, that's bonuses, management games, while they sell you fake logos and long-winded claims. And all through the network from Maine to LA, they tell you to certify or get out of the way. One business owner said, his tone was quite grim, "You've got to pay your dues if you want to get in." Buy your ticket, he said, it's a rigged little race. No pushback allowed, just fall into place. And many did just that. They followed the dance, never once giving truth a fighting chance. So now what you hold with your head held high is a certificate, probably a bureaucratic lie. You trusted the game, you followed the call, but Boeing screwed you for 22 years, y'all. They skipped the audits, they mocked every rule, while you polished your certs and looked like a fool. So here's the cold truth without sugar or gloss. Real quality's gone, and you look like, and you took the loss. It's time to stand up and call out this scam, because probably valid is worse than a sham. With respect, truth, and trust, Daryl Guberman, CEO of Guberman PMC LLC. And remember this, real certification isn't a probably, it's provably. 203-556-1493. I thank you.